You know what? Let me not hit a singing bowl this time around. Miss Tulip, come say hi to the fans. Come say hi to the people. You have so many fans, Tulip. I hope this makes you smile, and I hope you have a fabulous reading, y'all. I love you so much. Hello, my beautiful Aries. How are you doing, darling? My name is SimplyVelca, and today, honey, I'm going to be getting into your weekly tarot messages for September 2021. Remember as well that it doesn't matter what you identify as, Aries, he, she, they, or others. The messages are going to resonate the same if it's meant for you, darling. But if you do find some cards that resonate with you, let me know in the comments below which cards do, because that's how I keep up with y'all, Aries, is through the comments as well. If you do enjoy this tarot reading today, or you just enjoy my vibe, Aries, be sure to give this video a like and subscribe because it does help me out a lot, and I always appreciate it when you guys do that extra step to support me. But remember, keep this in perspective, Aries. I'm just a man reading some tarot cards to you, darling. You know your situation better than I ever possibly could, so take the cards that resonate, leave what doesn't. I believe my readings are just here to give you some food for thought, a perspective to consider, but never make the choices in your life. So all that being said, darling, let's just jump into your weekly tarot reading, Aries. I'm going to be leaving a link around above me for you to be checking out your monthly tarot reading for September 2021 as well, Aries. If you haven't seen that already, definitely do check that out. And if you do feel drawn to checking out your sun, moon, and rising, darling, do that as well. So let's just see what's going on with you, Aries. Let me pull out these cards, darling. You have the Knight of Swords coming out, the Nine of Wands, the Eight of Wands, Wheel of Fortune, Six of Pentacles, Four of Pentacles, and then for your last row, darling, let me make some space here, Aries. Also, let me know how you guys are doing today, Aries. What's been up with you? Y'all have any exciting plans for this week, honey? You have the Devil card coming in here. That card came out with your Chariot card and your Death card coming in here. Back of the deck is the Temperance card coming in here. So as I was saying before, you had, oh, this is not the Devil card, this is the Ten of Swords. My bad, not the Devil card, the Ten of Swords. So let's see the main theme for this week for you, Aries. I love these cards, darling. Even though they're round, it's a little bit difficult for me to shuffle. These cards just match the outfit that I'm wearing, darling, Aries. So I always just feel so aesthetic when I'm using it. So the main theme for you guys is the Eight of Wands. So this is the second time this Eight of Wands has come out. So I like this a lot. You know, this Eight of Wands represents progress and really starting to get into alignment, Aries, with your purpose, with getting into alignment with, you know, going after your objective, whatever your objective is, Aries. For some of you guys, and maybe with love or a career, what have you. You know your objective, darling, right? So for you guys, Aries, the Eight of Wands also represents movement. So especially with two Eight of Wands coming in for you guys may be going through some type of transition in your life. And I do see this being a potential, especially obviously with this Death card coming in here. We can't really neglect transitions big time coming in. But I do feel like overall you guys are transitioning from a pretty rough time, Aries, into something pretty fabulous, darling. Some of you guys may be coming over a breakup, is something that I'm hearing, just because with the Six of Pentacles being the focal point of this energy here, you may be like moving on from a connection that just wasn't that nice of you know, you at one point were investing a lot into it, but something has changed in the dynamic of some type of connection in your life and causing some type of transition. It could be a job as well, like but you know, we can go into so many potentials, right, when it comes to general readings. And so in this first row here, Aries, I want to be showing you these cards, right? You have the Knight of Swords, the Nine of Wands, and the Eight of Wands coming in here. And so this really shows to me like a mental transition for you guys, right? The Nine of Wands represents the wounded warrior. And then, so this is, you know, the journey that you guys have been on for a while. As I was getting a sense of, Aries, just from your previous readings, darling, you guys had a lot of drama happening in your life. With this Knight of Swords here and this Nine of Wands, this is where you've been progressing for a while. It feels as if you guys have just been having, you know, you've been waking up every single day, darling, and there's just like something new that you've been having to deal with, Aries, it feels. And so I liked seeing this Eight of Wands here because it's almost as if you yourself, Aries, are saying that you needed to, it's time for a change, right? It's time for a change for you. It's time for a change for how you approach things. And so transitioning into your middle row here with the Wheel of Fortune, the Six of Pentacles, as well as the Four of Pentacles, Aries, you know, this change is leading to a lot more good in your life, right? You know, whatever it is that you're transitioning away from, it feels almost as if like you're pulling out from one situation and then putting all of your energy going all into a new situation. And that's why you have that Eight of Wands coming in twice, because, you know, you're pulling out and moving on from something else. Hopefully that's a lot more profitable for you, which it looks like, obviously, with that Wheel of Fortune here. That's a very fabulous transition process for you guys. When you have the Wheel of Fortune turning in your favor, darling, you can't help but celebrate that. And then going into further with your third row, you have the Ten of Swords, the Chariot card, and the Death card coming in here. So you guys are experiencing rapid closures with situations, rapid closures, rapid, you know, it's almost as if, Aries, you finally are like putting a closing chapter to a book. I feel like you're, you know, for some people, I will say use the words like chapter and all that, going into the next chapter with something. But that implies a certain sense of progression with that same storyline, right? When you go from chapter 2 to chapter 3, darling, it's still going to be generally the same story, though. There are some weird books, darling, that just go in all over the place. But I digress. For you guys, Aries, it feels like you're putting a book completely away and then sinking your teeth into like a whole new storyline for you guys. And so this is such an interesting dynamic, Aries. I am getting just this sense of where many of you guys are like considering changing jobs, because you guys have just been in like your current work environment. You guys have just been dealing with a lot of struggle. You've been trying to just make it work for quite a long time. And, you know, as I said, I just keep hearing enough is enough for you. I feel like I said that. If I didn't, I was hearing that in the pre-shuffle for you guys, but I feel as if I vocalized that for y'all. Excuse me. So, yeah, Aries, I like the direction that you guys are going in. I do want to just point out you guys could be feeling a little bit overwhelmed throughout this week as well, just because of this transitional process. While it does lead to a lot of good things happening in your life, or the direction that you guys are going in is a lot of good, a lot of fabulousness, darling. But, you know, with this Chariot card coming in here, like especially with the Ten of Swords and the Death card, you guys are going to be experiencing a lot of rapid yeah, just a lot of, it just feels as if you guys are about to be like shedding your skin, right? And so during that, your transition into a whole new storyline, you have to let go of everything from that old storyline. There is that detox period for you, Aries. And so definitely something I do want to just give you guys a heads up about this week. While it is like this is an extremely positive reading for you guys, Aries, while you guys are actually going through the experience of it, darling, you may be just like looking back and be like, Velka, what the heck you talking about? Any type of good, honey? But no, truly, by the end of this, like you're going to be overcoming this Nine of Wands energy, that wounded warrior. You know, it's not a bad thing either when I say overcoming. It just feels as if like, you know, you probably are a little bit tired, Aries, of having to be functioning off of like a place of being crippled in some way, you know, emotionally crippled or just mentally crippled, you know, maybe. And this comes from the sense of just not feeling necessarily inspired anymore from doing whatever it is that you've been doing, right? If this is in regards to a connection, I'm going to be honest, Aries, I do see for many of you guys some type of transition when it comes to a relationship in your life. Platonic, romantic, family, or work environment. I do feel like you guys are pulling out finally from a situation that you really were, I want to say for many of you guys, you were trying to make this work, because I always say with the Ten of Swords, darling, the Ten of Swords, like these 10 swords don't just come into your back all 10 stab your back overnight. The Ten of Swords is like a progressive thing. And with this Nine of Wands here, this shows to me like you really were trying to persevere through it, just trying to make it work. But unfortunately with that Six of Pentacles here, it's just like, it just wasn't given what it needs to be giving anymore in your life. And so some of you guys, you may have struggled with the idea and still may be struggling with the idea of having to let go of that, right? Because with this Death card, this is like a sense of finality, right? But this Death, I feel as if you're kind of welcoming it with the Chariot card. So all good things, darling. It just is like a lot to be unpacking. Where did I put y'all's deck? Over here. So let's start getting some clarifiers in regards to this. Actually, let's switch decks up. I think I want to start using this deck over here. It's not, admittedly, it's probably my least favorite tarot deck just because of how cheap these cards are made. But I guess that don't matter with y'all, right? Girl, I can't even shuffle these cards. They don't even want me to shuffle them because I'm just talking about them right in front of them. So let's start getting some clarifiers with this. We have here the Chariot card coming in between your Knight of Swords and the Nine of Wands, as well as the Queen of Pentacles coming in with your Nine of Wands and Eight of Wands. And so the transition that's happening for you guys, it's more so just, which makes sense, is like for your betterment, Aries. So it does feel as if like you guys are finally coming to accept the fact that a situation just is kind of just ran its course for you guys. And so you need to start making decisions that are better for you with that Queen of Pentacles here. Queen of Wands is in the back of the deck right now. I'm not going to be pulling it, but I just feel the need to be pointing that out. So Aries, I really like the direction that you guys are going in, where it's a lot more self-serving for you. Don't be feeling bad about feeling selfish, or like you might have the feelings of being selfish or what have you, just because I see some of you guys having a little struggle with a sense of obligation with the situation, which, girl, just let it go. You have the Knight of Cups coming in between your Wheel of Fortune and Six of Pentacles, as well as the Five of Pentacles between your Six of Pentacles and Four of Pentacles, which I like that a lot. So I like it just because it's just like 4, 5, 6, honey. This is small things, Aries. Let me have that. So for you guys, I do feel as if opportunity is going to be presenting itself to you, Aries. You're going to be receiving some type of offer, definitely while you are in the middle of this transition, while you're feeling a little bit down in the dumps, darling. You know, in those cheesy romance movies where it's just like the woman's crying out in the rain and she's just sobbing, and then someone comes up and pursues her and just like, oh, what are you doing outside, darling? Come into whatever, right? I do feel as if in the midst of you guys going through this transition, you guys are going to be having some type of reprieve sent your way with this Knight of Cups here. And that's how this Wheel of Fortune is like the signifier for you guys. It feels almost as if you'll start seeing the change of seasons for you guys, whereas this season of struggle initially for you, Aries, you're now going into a new season of abundance, of new offers coming in here, of a situation that actually is that equal give and take for you, Aries, with that Knight of Cups. So definitely be looking for your Knight of Cups moment this week. This Knight of Cups moment could be even coming from a sense of inspiration from yourself, right? It could be like a download from the universe of what it is your next step should be, where you invest your energy into. Because with this Four of Pentacles here, you are pulling out of a situation that just wasn't fruitful to you, but you're going to be having like a new project, a new interest that could be really involving a lot of your interests. I was just shown like writing a book, Aries. I don't know if you guys are going to be feeling randomly inspired to be writing something or some type of creative endeavor, right? Because I do feel like it's like a project that you start exuding a little bit of mad scientist energy for, if that makes sense. And then you have the Three of Cups coming in between your Ten of Swords and Chariot card. Ooh, honey, I guess we already know this. And then the Emperor card coming in between this Chariot card and the Death card. So many of you guys, Aries, you know, with that Three of Cups here, you guys are definitely experiencing some type of, I really want to say, you guys are really, at the very least, emotionally distancing yourself from some type of social dynamic in your life. And it's in the name of you becoming more empowered, right? Queen of Pentacles and this Emperor card coming in between it with this Five of Pentacles here. It almost is just the sense here, Aries, that whatever the situation was in the past here, this past energy, you weren't feeling very empowered. This is like a situation where you're feeling like you were like a fish out of water, darling, where you felt like you didn't really belong. And so with this Emperor card here, I feel like you're going to be starting the next phase of your journey a little bit solo. I wouldn't be surprised if some of you Aries are going to be having like a whole new what is the word that I'm trying to search for, like a whole new social group, a whole new social dynamic here, because I do feel like for many of you guys, you just is like a great upheaval in terms of just relationships and general connections that you have. So let's close off this energy here with one final card. You have the Lovers card coming in here. So even if you guys are going through a little bit of a breakup, darling, as this focal point here, a breakup with your job or a breakup with your friends or relationship itself, you're going to be pulling out of that situation. But, you know, you have to remember with this Lovers card, Ace of Wands is definitely like a new, I know I said I was going to only do one more card for you, but I got to spoil you, Aries. Ace of Wands, definitely new interest coming in here. And I really do feel the need to say that this doesn't have to be just about with people, but I do feel like for about 75% of you, Aries, this is like a new interest, like, you know, developing like a new friendship, a new interest that could actually spur to something more fabulous, darling. With that Ace of Wands, this is a card of lust. So for my singles, definitely that Knight of Cups could be just like a new love interest coming in for you. If it is a new love interest, I feel like it just initially starts out as like a friendship or, you know, just like a more organic connection more than anything initially. And so, yeah, even though you're experiencing some loss right now, even though you're changing up books entirely, darling, and storylines entirely, this is, I really feel as if this is where the night progression starts happening for you. So I like that a lot for you, Aries. So good luck with that, darling. So now let's get some messages from your spirit guides, ancestors, and all of that, Aries. Let's see what's going on there. Let's see what insight they have for you. Girl, can I hold these cards? What insight they have for you today, Aries. You have the Five of Cups coming in here. I didn't even show that to you properly. Hold on. Eight of Swords coming in as well. And then the Six of Swords coming in here. So Aries, with this Five of Cups here, I feel like some of you guys, there's like a situation, and for some of you, this is going to be more so of a chastising. I'm going to have to be honest here, Aries, that, you know, there's a situation that you can't quite forgive. There's a situation you can't, like, there's just something that you feel just stuck on, you can't transition on from, and you can't move, like, it's like, no matter, like, even though you really want this to work, you want some type of situation to work, some type of disappointment happened, Aries, in this that has caused, it's almost just, it's just paralyzing for you, right? It's just like, you can't see this person the same way. There's just like this sense of resentment or what have you, even if the person, or if this is a person, it's just like, yeah, I've changed. It just feels like even no matter how hard you try, you can't move on from a situation. And so the message coming in from your spirit guides with the Six of Swords is where it's just like, it's time to let it go. King of Pentacles here, as well as the Seven of Cups. Yeah, you guys need to be starting to consider your options elsewhere, Aries, because there's something here that you keep hyper focusing on. And I'm trying to remember what your weekly reading was last week, because I feel as if it was kind of similar to this, Aries. Maybe I'm wrong, but there's something that you keep hyper focusing on and trying to see if you can overcome it, or trying to figure out how you can handle the situation, right? With the King of Pentacles, definitely feels like you want to like get your hands involved and like shift something in this. And so the situation here is, Aries, well, not, you know, free will and all that, darling. I feel like you need to be considering other options here with the Seven of Cups, because, you know, you hyper focusing on this situation, Eight of Swords here, it's doing nothing but slowing your own progression down. It's doing nothing but keeping you stuck in your current situation. And so the main message from your spirit guides and ancestors is to just let something go, Aries, and look into a new direction. Stop hyper focusing on what's happened over here, you know, the cups, you know, the milk that was spilled over here, darling, and start looking into the future, right? It sucks that that milk was spilled over there, but you cannot change what's already happened, darling. No matter how much you hyper focus on it, no matter how much you cry about it, how much anxiety, darling, it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. It's just gonna, that milk is still gonna sit there, and the longer you just focus on it, the more you're gonna just upset yourself, because you realize that milk is just staining and all that, right, darling? You're doing nothing but upsetting yourself with this situation. That's really not going to change anything at all. So just the message I feel the need that your guides wanted to say to you, darling, right? Miss Aretha Franklin is being jam-packed with tarot cards today, honey. Now, Aries, let's get into how people are perceiving you this week. How are people seeing my Aries? Yeah, the Queen of Cups, Three of Swords, and the Page of Swords coming in here. So people right now for you, Aries, are seeing you in a very, I would say, in a pretty good light. Aries, you do have people watching you, watching your healing process as you go through this struggle here with this Three of Swords. Did I show you these cards? I don't think I did. You guys are definitely have people in your life kind of just like watching from afar. Aries, you may feel as if you don't have like a very strong support system currently. And I'm not here to tell you that you do if you don't, darling, but I do see people just kind of observing how you are handling yourself right now, Aries. And I feel like that actually is very similar to what I was saying to you guys previously. They're seeing you, and I would say in a pretty good light. It's very much so in an empowering way, but I don't feel like there's necessarily communication here. Knight of Swords in the reverse here, as well as the Justice card in the reverse coming in here. Yeah, I don't feel like you guys are talking anymore. You could be, it could be I definitely do feel like for some of you guys with that Three of Swords here, definitely someone from the past coming in and just like observing how you are healing, Aries, which just something to keep in mind, darling, shouldn't have no relevance for how you carry yourself in the future. But just know that you have people watching your healing process. And, if you do not want communication from those people from the past, darling, you need to be blocking them, darling. I don't feel as if they're going to be reaching out to you necessarily, but you know how some people are. They start seeing you starting to heal and all that, and they might want to reopen that wound, right? Add salt to that wound before you fully heal. Interesting message. But yeah, Aries, that is the weekly tarot reading that I have for you. Be sure to check out your monthly reading as well. If you'd like to book a private personal reading with me, Aries, my website's linked down below, simplyvelca.com. Next to my social medias, TikTok, Twitter, Instagram, all that, just being Simply Velca, honey. But yeah, I love you so much, Aries, and I hope I can connect with you sometime in the near future. I love you so much. Bye.